My Little Yahtzee.
That's right.
My Little Yahtzee. We're going to talk about this. Everyone is apparently talking about how My Little Pony is popular with Yahtzees.
Okay.
This is crazy. We've reached peak idiocy here. Well, I say that every day. We never actually reach peak idiocy. The idiocy is over 9,000.
They're like, hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Every day.
Hold my cream soda.
No, it would be hold my craft beer.
Hold my craft beer. Yeah, Portland is outraged at My Little Pony fans. So we're going to talk about that. Before we do, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It helps us stay on the air, stay on the internet, and make more content for you, like this wonderful video.
Yeah. About
My Little Ponies being Yahtzees.
Okay, so as somebody who has collected ponies for many, many years, I collected them as a kid, I collected them as an adult. I haven't since we moved here because I didn't have a place to put them. I collected up to G3. The My Little Pony community was very, very, very open. It was very, very diverse. We had all kinds of people. Didn't matter, what race, gender, sexual orientation you were. Didn't matter. Everybody was welcome. And as far as I knew, when it went into G4, that was the same thing. I don't understand where they're getting this whole it's Nazi thing from.
Because 4chan likes the ponies.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to talk, because this is all interconnected. We talk about anime and how there's a pushback from Westerners in anime to get rid of even military costumes.
Yeah, just any military costume automatically means that you're a Yahtzee.
You're Yahtzee. Like, you do realize that statistically there are not a lot of actual Yahtzees.
Doesn't matter. And ironically, one side is behaving much more in a Yahtzee-esque fashion, and it's not the side they keep yelling about.
Banning books and, wanting to segregate people and all of that. Yeah, so I think yesterday it was The Atlantic had it first, and then the New York Post picked it up too.
Yeah, I think Sarah had mentioned this too.
And we had a couple people tweeting us yesterday, like, have you heard about the hit pieces on My Little Pony? Now, this is weird because Friendship is Magic is over. Mm-hmm. Like, they're years late to this
I'm
party.
not liking the look of the new one coming out. It's not for me. It
looks pretty bad, yeah.
It's not for me. Some people might like it, and that's fine. It's definitely not for me. Yeah.
So I'm waiting for the next thing to be like, how did a colorful cartoon for children become linked to white supremacy?
Because it didn't.
Because it didn't. We're linking it. I'm gonna put a theory out there. I think it's
you can link anything to whatever you want if you want to, bend over enough.
If you want to bend over enough.
Put your head up your own rear end. You can link anything.
Well, that's what's going on here. And they're coming after the Bronies. So I think that's going to be
Bronies kind of it's been here and gone by now.
It's done. It's over.
It's like it's a little late to the party at this point.
We've got friends who are former Bronies, and it's like the Brony ship has sailed. You guys are, by the time you guys figured out what was going on, we've already moved on.
Right.
You're too slow, mainstream media. So they're talking about how the My Little Ponies attracted the Bronies. And the irreverent subculture arose about a decade ago. Yeah, and it was over like 3 years ago. With the now notoriously problematic 4chan platform as the site of Brony's inception. Oh, how very dare they. By 2012, the Conclave created a channel all their own, a website called Derpy Buru. I think it's Derpy Buru, which I've heard about. I've never actually been there. So what we're gonna learn about what the mainstream media thinks about Derpy Buru, because it originated from 4chan. Everything on 4chan is bad. The term is an amalgamation of the My Little Pony character Derpy Hooves and Boru, which is jargon for an online image board. Okay, so it's basically 4chan for ponies. The creators had intended it to be a place to share fan art. We know what happens, which commonly depicts sexual, violent, and overtly racist themes without fear of being judged or silenced for their edgy obsession.
Like basically like Tumblr, just on the side they don't like.
Yeah.
They would do the exact same thing on Tumblr. Violent, sexual, racist things. Right. Yeah, tell you what.
And look what happened to Tumblr. It went for $3 million after Yahoo bought it for $1 billion. It's absolutely worthless now. But the site is a far cry from a safe space where Bronies promote the tenets Equestria, the fictional country where magical sapient ponies, oh my god, and where a hands-off approach to moderation and censorship prevails, so too do the Yahtzees. Anytime we don't have enough moderation and censorship.
Every time we don't tell you what you can think or you're banned, like, Reddit and comics, then it's all that.
That is exactly it.
Let me get this straight. So, we need censorship, and we need to control the narrative and control people thinking what they're allowed to say to stop the Yahtzees. But that in itself sounds like you're being a Yahtzee.
Because somebody has to decide what is and what is not acceptable.
Right.
Which means you
We
have
need to stop them by being them.
Yes, which means you have to have an authoritarian overlord who dictates what is and what is not acceptable.
And only certain voices are allowed to be heard. Purge anyone that does not conform to what those acceptable parameters are. Sounds an awful lot like Yahtzeeism to me.
This is a fan community that has prided itself on a permissiveness and pushing boundaries and cloaking themselves in irony and the idea that they can make the mainstream uncomfortable, said Ann Gilbert, an instructor of media studies.
When do they give a shit about the mainstream? They're constantly on here trying to make things acceptable that weren't acceptable before just because it's things they like.
It's a source of pride. In other words, it's like, how dare those edgelords make these cute little ponies do things that cute little ponies should not do.
It's a source of pride, but not the right kind of pride.
Right. And well, there's that too. It's, pony fandom is welcome to everybody.
It has been for years.
And there's some, I'm going to tell you, I have dipped into pony fandom. We've got friends that were bronies, and there is some legitimately weird shit. I'm not even going to mince words. There's some legitimately weird shit that is not to my liking, but I can't tell people that it can't take place. But you know what'll happen? They'll make enough noise on in the mainstream media that Hasbro will step in and be like, this is copyright infringement and we're shutting it down.
Right, you're not allowed to do that, but you're allowed to take things like She-Ra and do what they did to that. That's
yes.
fine, because that's the right kind of pride.
Yes. Emboldened by a perversion of the First Amendment. The one I don't agree with.
Wow, the wording on this, it's like they're making this so dramatic. It's ridiculous. Okay, I got a little hint for you, okay? So it's like what they always tell me about, like Thundercats and Roar and She-Ra. It maybe if it's not for you, just look at something else. Don't worry about it. It has nothing to do with you. Move on. I don't care if you're a fan of it. I don't care if you personally are upset by the choices that are made because you've been a fan of it for years. You're just supposed to turn your head and look the other way and move on because it's not for you. You're not the target demographic. It's for the children. You
can't turn your head and look the other way. They get to that point.
Do they?
Because that's
so when complicit. It's them. So that's being complicit if you look the other way yes. on this.
Yes.
But you're supposed to turn your head and look the other way when they bastardize everything else. That isn't the way they want it to be done.
Right. So
okay. Yes. Okay.
They marked the racist pieces of art as being racist, an apparently acceptable genre of content over on their site. Certainly not all bronies are white supremacists. The best of them have gone on to form organizations that fundraise and advocate for various charitable interests, including Bronies for Good and Brony Thank You Fund.
Let's be honest here. Most bronies aren't very bad anyway. I don't even think most of the time bronies really are around that much anymore. Relevant. It's not something you hear about all the time like you used to. I mean, you're like way late with this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, have we run out of outrage? Have we run out of outrage that we have to dig up brony fandom for a show that is ended? The toys are barely out.
All the examples they keep giving are 2014, 2012.
Yes.
I'm like, really?
Like, the ship has sailed. You missed the boat. You're so desperate for outrage. You're so thirsty for things to be upset about that you're digging up memes from 5 or 6 years ago.
And they're going on about how the association between Yahtzees and Hasbro caused the petition to be created to have the brand be a hate symbol.
Wait, what?
Oh my God. Because a couple people didn't do what they wanted and didn't go along with the way they wanted. They were going to 84 supporters. Their petition they're using for an example had 84 flippin' supporters. Because it's stupid.
Holy shit, this is the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, this is how desperate, this is New York Post. Oh, that explains everything. This is how desperate the New York Post is for news.
Well, it came from the Atlantic, which is New York Post, but it came from the Atlantic, which is super, super far left. Okay, so I love this. A majority of the peers have been complicit to hate speech, populating their once fun-loving forum. Thought leader of the alt-brony movement, Buttercup Dew, once stated the beloved cartoon is as implicitly white as NASCAR, country music, and the Republican Party.
Okay, so that they found one comment from one person, and that's what they're going to use because they got the Republican Party in there. That's why. And don't you know, Nazi automatically means Republican, don't you know? Automatically, even though we actually, which is funny because everybody's going to say, well, yes, Republicans. We aren't, which is what's funny. But I'm sorry, I see a lot of Yahtzee-esque behavior, and it's mostly coming from the far left.
Yeah, this is, again, they are way late to the party. So they're talking about edgy art that's...
So it's because somebody did that as a
Is that
recent,
what kicked us off?
Because one person did it recently. So we're going to dig up stuff from 2012 and 2014. Oh my God.
All right. The administrators fully support Black Lives Matter and are abhorred by the onslaught of police brutality across the United States. They said in a text attachment, they continued moving forward. Our new policies, the images that appear to have been created to just incite controversy or antagonize others will not be welcome.
Well, but again, it's okay as long as you're inciting controversy and antagonize others on the right side. I mean, being the left, the far left. Then that's okay.
So they're like, okay, well, it's unfortunate that happened. We have not always been as strict as we would have liked to be. They also clarified that the flagged art will not be removed in perpetuity due to the archival site's mission to preserve artifacts of the movement. Well, that's the thing, because people are like, you know, everything that was racist 10 years ago needs to be obliterated completely. It's like, well, you can say, use it as an example, be like, yeah, this is racist, don't do that. You know, but Mark is such. Unfortunately, toxic brony
really
culture.
Desperate for hits.
This is scraping the bottom of the fucking barrel.
Because once there was a petition with 86 signatures.
Okay, I'm gonna tell. We've got a story here. So unfortunately, toxic brony culture isn't likely to shift anytime soon, as a glut of their community tends to be politically apathetic. How dare you be neutral?
That's right. You're not allowed to be.
Do you know how we got into this shit on this channel? We publicly said we were neutral. We didn't give a shit about politics. You know what? That wasn't good enough, so we got labeled alt-right Yahtzees.
Actually, we just made comments or basic observations about questioning, you know, Marvel numbers and worrying about it. And that because we did that, we apparently violated some kind of, you know, you have to just, you know, worship Marvel. And because that, we got a whole bunch of our friends blocked us, friends who've known us for years and in person blocked us for no reason, all because of this. And we're moderate. We lean left. We're in the middle. Like most of America. I'm sorry.
Right, we're
most of America. They're usually in the middle and they lean left or right, but they're not far either way. Because that's how majority of people are. And that's not okay. You have to pick a side because Twitter and New York Post says you have to.
This is insane. Because, yeah, I mean...
Pick the side of my middle finger.
That is literally what got us into this. People were like, why are you guys like all political now? We weren't. It was just me saying when we did the Disney blog, as someone who worked on Disney Comics, I'm like, hey, guess what? You know, Marvel replaced all their characters, their core characters, with a bunch of new characters, and the sales tanked.
Right.
That is all it took.
That's all we did.
But this is the mentality. Look at this. Unfortunately, toxic brony culture isn't likely to shift anytime soon, as a glut of their community tends to be politically apathetic with a wildly uncalibrated moral compass.
A wildly uncalibrated. Who's supposed to be calibrated? Let me guess. The far left's supposed to calibrate everybody's moral compass?
The car needs to calibrate the car. You need to make sure it pulls just to one side of the road.
Right, and then the side, and preferably on the side of them, because otherwise we're gonna call you names and call you Yahtzees as we sit there and behave like Yahtzees.
This is absolutely insane. Now they're talking about, like, you know, within the ranks, canon characters such as Rose Dust are glorified to the same degree as the fan fictional Ariane, a pink pony.
Ariane, oh my God.
A pink pony that sports a swastika.
Okay, so that's what they're basing this on.
Let me tell you a true story of how culture has shifted.
Okay.
About 7 or 8 years ago, we were doing an anime convention. Mm-hmm. We were guests at said anime convention. They were playing Cards Against Humanity publicly in a packed full house with a bunch... Hundreds of people with notable YouTubers. We were actually the smallest people there because at the time we were just doing webcomics. We were in this packed house at this large anime convention with a bunch of YouTubers and notable voice actors, some of whom are very left-leaning publicly. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to name names. And one of the jokes that came up was actually about a Yahtzee pony.
Yeah, I had to read the card. It was blank is best pony, and someone put down Auschwitz.
Yes.
So I think that one won, didn't it? Auschwitz was best pony.
That was at an anime convention, which I believe now is very, very far left-leaning. I know some of the voice actors on that panel are very, very left-leaning, and if it came out that they were laughing at a joke about Auschwitz being best pony, there would be hell to pay. Mm-hmm. Current year, but this was 8 years ago.
Yeah, when people have a sense of humor.
But I will tell you, they knew, because they would not allow anyone to video or audio tape that panel.
There's no record of it because they wouldn't allow unless you were there.
Yeah.
But like, okay, I mean, I'm sorry, a pink pony with a swastika probably is not a good idea. But you can't say everybody who likes My Little Pony or makes off-color jokes are Yahtzees because someone made a custom pony AOC with a swastika on it.
And the reason they're doing it is for shock value, because they know people like you.
Well, they do it they do it to mess with you people.
They're messing with you. They're trolling you. They're doing it because they know the media. They're not actually Yahtzees. They're doing it because they know Twitter and the media is going to have a fucking meltdown, and they just want to watch you wail and scream and read about it.
Symbol came up with. One time they did that thing where they did all the Steven Universe fan art where they made characters like
they made them all white.
They made them all white, and they made the fat characters skinny and everything else, and people had the biggest hissy. How dare they? They had like reading meltdowns all over the place. And then one of them came out and said that they were and it was a black person, and they said
black person,
and he said he put a wig on and said he was trans, and then they were all like falling on his feet apologizing for, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize, I'm so sorry, it's okay, we're so sorry, when they thought it was a trans black person who started it. The whole thing was one giant troll, was what it was. And do I think there's a pony with a swastika on it? Yeah, I think I've heard about it before. Do I think that represents most of the community that you're talking about? Hell no.
There are ponies with dicks, okay? There are lots of pictures.
Wait, they gave them dicks?
There are ponies with dicks.
They put like epoxy sculpt dicks on them or what?
I'm talking fan art.
Oh,
don't Google. Don't you dare Google My Little Pony fan art.
Whoa. How do you know that there's My Little Pony fan art with dicks?
Because I Googled My Little Pony fan art.
Why would you do that?
Because it's research.
I would never have researched that. Just
do yourself a favor and don't do that. Don't go down that hole.
I mean, are the people that go down?
That's probably a pony OC glory hole.
Yeah, I just don't go down the hole. Can kind of just, that should be your mantra in life. But yeah, do I think that people take it really far? Yes. Do I think there's some people that do really lewd things with ponies and pony body pillows and things? Hell yes. Do I think that's the majority? No.
I just can't believe that these people are getting outraged about something from 5 or 6 years. No, I can't, because we just did a video on Jenna Marbles and the outrage around Jenna Marbles' skits from 8 or 10 years ago. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel because these people want to censor the internet, and that's why they're being played. You're being played. These people don't actually believe this. They're doing it to shock you, just to watch you scream.
Some probably do actually believe it, though.
Well, they might.
I mean, there's always going to be some. I'm not going to lie and say nobody does, because that's not true. I mean, there's always some extremists.
But statistically, very less than 1%.
Exactly. The extremists make up a tiny percentage of the people involved. And a lot of them just do it because they see that you react, and then they're trying to get a reaction out of you, especially if it's 4chan related. Come on.
Yeah, and again, this is all, to them, it's a big joke. You're taking it much more seriously than these people actually are.
You're just giving them what they want.
You are.
Good job with this article.
It's like the Joker. Like, there's no point in telling you the punchline because you wouldn't get it. You, media, Twitter, you are the punchline.
You just fell for it.
You just fell for it.
Good job.
Good job. So we're going to wrap this up?
Yep.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants and quality content like My Little Pony Yahtzees. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.